Hello everybody and welcome to the video. So today I figured I would sit down and I would go over my 5 potential new mains when it comes to the newcomers that have been included in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now a lot of these picks are basically going to be surrounded just based by like what characters I was either shot by or characters that just overall look very unique and very cool. And I think it's safe to say that a lot of these characters are definitely unique and they do seem like they are very cool. However, I'm not going to go over them from a competitive standpoint, given the fact that I'm not super inclined with the competitive scene with Smash. Of course, I love watching it, but I've never really participated or tried, so I'm not going to be doing any moveset analysis or any matchups or anything like that. So I'm just going to be going over them generally, why I liked the reveal, why I think the character looks really neat, and just overall my general opinions on the character itself. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. Okay, so coming in at number 5, I'm actually picking the Inklings. Now this is a really weird one for me because given the fact that they were the first ones revealed, I think they were very overlooked. People sort of forgot about them because, you know, Nintendo was trying to show off, hey look, Inklings are in Smash, but everyone was just like, oh my god, a new Smash game, like oh my god, like I didn't see a lot of people really talking about the Inklings. Now, I'm not very familiar with Splatoon. I've played Splatoon just a couple times. Nothing really serious. I don't own the game, and I'm not a big Splatoon fan. However, the characters themselves in Smash Ultimate actually look really cool and really unique. I love the fact that, you know, they could shoot the paint gun, and when you hit the enemy, the more paint they have on them, the more damage you do. I just think that that's a really cool, unique feature. Plus, they look like they're very fast. Their movesets, just overall, just everything just looks really good about them. And even though I'm not familiar with the series that much, and I'm not a big fan of the Inklings in general, I do think that just based off of the footage that we have seen that the Inklings can potentially be very good, and that's why they are number 5 for characters that could potentially be my main. Okay, so coming in at number 4, I'm picking Richter. And again, just like the Inklings, I actually have never played Castlevania in my life. I'm not familiar with the series at all. If you guys saw my reaction, Simon I kind of knew, and then Richter popped up on the screen, and I tried to figure out who it was. I was like, am I supposed to know who this is? But, you know, then I figured out that Richter's he's from Castlevania. He's a little more popular in Japan, so that's why, you know, both of them were included, because in the Western audience, you know, like in the US and stuff, we're more familiar with Simon. So, yes, overall, I'm picking Richter over Simon, just because from what I've seen in gameplay and just other YouTubers talking about the characters themselves, it just seems that Richter's a little faster, and he just seems like he's just overall just a little bit better. Simon feels a little heavier. I don't know about their damage outputs or if anything's a little different when it comes to that, but I do think that Richter just overall seems like a better pick for me. And plus, since I know who Simon is and I really don't know who Richter is, I wanted to throw somebody on this list that I'm not familiar with at all whatsoever. Not only just the franchise, but the character themselves. So yeah, that is why Richter is number 4 on my list. Okay, so coming in at number 3, I'm going to pick Isabelle. Now, if anybody saw my reaction to when Isabelle got revealed, I screamed so loud, I was smiling, I was so happy. I absolutely love Animal Crossing, and Isabelle was just something that, you know, a lot of people were expecting, but she was probably up there when it comes to like my first party picks by Nintendo to include in the game. Isabelle just, you know, even though she looks like she's sort of a clone of Villager, I still think that she has a lot of really cool things like the fishing rod and planting the gyroid and like sort of like a mind thing, sort of like Snake's moveset. I think that Isabelle just overall looks really fun, and actually when Smash 4 came out, one of the newcomers that I wanted to try the most was actually Villager. So obviously, you know, Isabelle's up there. I used to play Villager. I kind of stopped after a while. I don't know, I just found other characters that I enjoyed just a little bit more, but I would like to sort of revisit that old little like nostalgia trip from when I did pick up Villager when the game first came out, and I could just add Isabelle. Like I said, she just seems like a very different, unique form of Villager, so I'd like to see how she plays, and I really would like to try her out. And since I am such a huge Animal Crossing fan, I have to give her a shot, so that's why she is number 3 on my list. So coming in at number 2, my most wanted villain out of all of the Nintendo characters that I wanted to be put in Smash, who had the best trailers in general out of every character, is of course King K Rool. If you guys look at my Smash predictions video that I made right when Smash Ultimate came out, or not came out, but was revealed to us, you know, back in March, I actually made a video and King K Rool was on my list. Now, I can't remember if I specifically mentioned that he was my number 1 pick for villains, but he was one of the only villains on my list, so I guess that speaks for itself. Now, I'm typically not a fan of heavy characters, but King K. Rool just looks like he's in a league of his own. He has amazing recovery. He looks like he attacks pretty decently, but he can still hit pretty hard. So even though he's a little slower than most characters, he's still probably considered a heavyweight character. He does enough damage and just has enough of a unique moveset for me to be very interested in him. Plus, he has a counter. Not many heavy characters at all. If really, I don't know, I can't remember, I might be forgetting somebody, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that King K. Rool is the only one with a counter, and that is really big because obviously if you're slow, you're open to attacks, people will be coming for you because you deal the most damage. I just think King K. Rool having a projectile as well, a projectile and a counter, plus amazing recovery, I just think King K. Rool overall just looks like really, really good. And not only that, Donkey Kong 64 was the first Donkey Kong game I ever played. I remember when I was younger, even my dad and my brother and I, we would play Donkey Kong 64, we would try to beat it. Donkey Kong 64 is one of those games that I hold very near and dear to my heart. It was just one of those things that brings up a lot of good childhood feelings and memories. So the fact that King K. Rool is finally in the game is one of those moments where I am just so excited. And the fact that he actually looks really good is just... it gets me so excited, but he just misses out, and I'm going to explain why he's number 2 on my list and why I picked this next character for my number 1. So number 1, by my surprise, throughout this entire hype cycle, throughout the entire, when's the next direct, the whole leak season, Incineroar was the one that popped up the most, and I actually wasn't even that excited for Incineroar because, don't get me wrong, I love Pokemon to death. It's my second favorite franchise of all time. And, I did love Sun and Moon, and Incineroar is really cool, but I was more Team Decidueye, just because I started with Rowlet, and I just really loved Rowlet and Decidueye. Plus, we haven't really had a Ghost-type Pokemon in Smash before, so I thought Decidueye would just be a little bit more fun. But yeah, we ended up getting Incineroar, but you know what? Incineroar is still number 1 for me. The reason why Incineroar is number 1 on my list is because he just looks so good and so unique. I love the fact that he's sort of like a grappler character, he's very like hands-on, he's very close combat, he looks powerful. I love the revenge mechanic where you can like take damage and store up power, and then when you unleash it, it does so much damage. The only thing that I'm a little nervous about with Incineroar is of course his recovery, the cross chop move, it doesn't look that good. But then again, I mean, he's not really like meant for that type of thing. You're supposed to just apply a lot of pressure, just close it on your enemy. He seems like one of those. Plus, like, the move where he throws them against the ring and the ring ropes, and then he hits them just like, he just looks so cool. He looks so cool. And Incineroar really caught me by surprise. And it's kind of funny that, the character that everybody really expected, or at least me personally, the one I was like, oh, Incineroar's going to be in, Incineroar's going to be in, like, who cares about Incineroar? When I saw his moveset and the way he looks, he looks amazing. He looks like the type of character that I would really love to main. He seems very well balanced, like I said, aside from his recovery. But, every character has to have their flaws. But yes, overall, Incineroar looks the best for me, and although he wasn't my number 1 pick when it comes to, being hyped up and very excited for, just the fact that he looks so good makes me really want to main him. So that's why he is number 1 on my list. But yeah, guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just as a recap, the top 5 newcomers that I could potentially main when it comes to Smash Ultimate will be the Inklings, Richter, Isabelle, King K. Rool, and Incineroar. Let me know down below what you guys think you're potentially going to main when it comes to the newcomers. Let me know if you agree with some of my choices, or just let me know if I left somebody out and just explain why. I'd love to get a discussion going down below. So with all that out of the way, guys, don't forget to like the video, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel for more Smash Ultimate content. And until the next video, I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.